The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, you right-clicked the right scene change today. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of our Old Gods of Appalachia story. I'm the Reverend Zarkon. I'll be your storyteller this evening. Before we get started, let me let everybody introduce themselves and give a little blurb about their characters.
I am Mama McStabber, and I will be playing Prudence Ann Palmer. She is she's a superstitious sage, a granny witch, really, that fears no haints.
Hello, Rev Ben Powers. I'll be playing Randolph Randbarrow. I'm a sharp-eyed author who cannot escape the darkness. This is all very confusing. I don't like any of it. I'm betrayed by apple butter, and I kind of already want to go home.
Hello, everybody. I'm Shanky McStabber, and once again, I'm getting to play Old Joe. He's the shifty speaker who becomes the beast.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens as we get spookier and spookier.
Prudence doesn't know what to make of these gentlemen she's in the company of.
I follow the advice of Carlene. I become the beast.
Yeah, it's true. And before we hop into a little blurb about what happened last week, I do want to give everybody a little bit of a content warning tonight, because of the time period that we're playing in, and because of the events that happened less than 15 years ago. We will be tackling some hard to swallow situations tonight, so just be aware that these are not reflections of how we personally feel about topics at hand, but they are nonetheless things that have to be talked about. Last episode, we opened up on a Monday, October 20th, 1892, I believe. It is the waxing crescent moon on our way to Halloween this year, which will be the full moon, the last night of the full moon. And we got to see a pair of twins following Rand around. Prudence let us see some things that might be hanging on to him that he doesn't even know about. A pair of petrified tree saplings that ooze a black acre of sap. We got to see Old Joe take one of the bottles of apple butter that when he brought them out to be destroyed. He also warned Constance about the apple butter and was asked to check in on the general store before going to the Drummond family estate. Rand said his bird to follow Georgie around. When they separated outside of the courthouse, Georgie arrived at his house to see his parents talking to a Vernon Barrow who might have some relation to Rand. And we left off with our trio heading to pick up the apple butter from the general store before heading back to the Drummond estate to drop everything off and find out what happened to make some of the people sick from eating it. Now we'll pick up at the general store, very different from the William Brown house. This one is a one-story, well-to-do manor. It does look like it has a living space in the back, but the front is maybe a third of what the Williams Brown house is. There's much more of a diverse collection of things, not as much to have, whereas the Williams Brown might have 3 or 4 shovels. This has one off to the side. And there's a young girl in a seersucker dress sitting behind the counter, kind of wiping it down as you enter. And she smiles up. Everyone except Rand will recognize this as Kitty. Catherine, I believe is her full name. Yes. Kitty has been working at the General Goods Trading Post for about a year now. She is being courted by a couple of the gentlemen. Among them is Georgie. But she smiles as the 3 of you enter, if the 3 of you are entering.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was told to go by, so I got to enter.
Yeah. Prudence walks up to Kitty first, and she's like, Kitty, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Miss Palmer. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again.
See you. We've come here on some business because the delivery of apple butter, it seems to have gone off. It's like not good.
Oh no! I was about to put it out.
We've what?
I was about to put it out.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Don't do that.
So, Joe and Mr. Barrow here can go collect it from you. We're going to go take it back to the farm that produced it. So.
Oh.
I'll get it.
All
I
right.
don't need any help.
Okay.
Mr. Barrow can
Joe
stay
seems
here.
like a strapping fellow. I doubt he needs help
That's fine.
tending to the task.
Have you met Mr. Barrow yet, Kitty?
No. And she kind of goes over. She shows Joe where the crate of apple butter is, and then she comes back and holds out her hand, palm down. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Barrow. I'm Catherine Hawthorne.
Takes it and offers a small bow to it. I'm
Everyone
Rand
calls me Kitty.
Barrow. Pleased to meet you, Kitty. That's a fine place you have here.
Oh.
Families?
No, I just work here.
Oh,
Well, while we're waiting,
it's
please go ahead.
well-appointed establishment. Although, as we stated, the apple butter could use a bit of work.
I was looking forward to having some of it. It's one of my favorite things that Geraldine makes.
I know she's going to be very disappointed that it wasn't any good, but we just need to make sure she gets it back so she can dispose of it and create a new batch if possible. Yeah. And check in on them, make sure they haven't ate none and gotten sick too. So, because a few people got sick from it.
Oh no.
Yeah. While we're waiting on Joe to gather it all up and get it loaded in my cart, has my order come in yet?
She opens a ledger, leather bound, maybe about the thickness of a thumb and a half. Mm-hmm. Flips through it. Pages have been dog-eared. The spool. Yes, the bolt,
the fabric. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. It came in last night.
Oh, wonderful. I'll take that too while I'm here. I've already paid up on it.
Yeah. It says that you've paid here. And she bends down, looks underneath the counter, and then she pulls this maybe like 5 foot long bundle, but it's just wrapped fabric.
Yeah, and she takes it and she kind of expects it to see the quality of the material and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to make my girl a new dress. She's growing like a damn weed, and I can't let out the hem no more on her current one. So, thank you, Kitty.
Yeah. She's what now? 12?
13. 13. Yeah, just turned 13 last month.
Mm-hmm. As I see you coming back, I see the bolt. I go to grab it to go take it to the cart.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
But when I grab it, I make sure I walk past Rand and just kind of bump him with the bolt that's held over my shoulder as I walk by.
Yep. Pop.
As someone who has taken a bath a few times in his life and knows how to read fluently, I will not be baited by such primitive thuggery. I will kind of just browse around and just, see what's around, pick up little objects,
I'll have you
keep
know.
an eye on things.
I'll have you know, old Joe gets a bath. He goes out when it rains and he stands there in the rain and gets clean.
Just as nature intended. There's a distinct difference between the general trading post goods and the Williams Brown house. There you can definitely see that one of these establishments has been here longer than the other and has had the chance to kind of put more money into it. The trading post, though, does have a little bit more of some trinkets. There's little whittled animals on a shelf, a deer, a bear, what might be an interpretation of a sea lion, maybe a mermaid.
Very quaint. Very cute.
Yep. They're all 25 cents. But Kitty smiles as she closes the ledger. Will there be anything else, Miss Palmer?
For me, no, thank you, Kitty. But if I ever need to order something that I need y'all to, get for me, I'll let you know, okay?
All right.
Because y'all have some of the best suppliers for the things I need.
Thank you. Mr. Barrow, anything for you?
I sent you a message. I don't know if you got it.
Oh, I don't pay attention to that, man. What are you doing?
It's okay. I was just doing creepy, shifty, suspect things.
Par for the course for you? Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it. Give me, you know what? Since you were complaining about your abilities, let's give you.
I was not complaining. I was merely pointing out statistics.
You were complaining. Let's give you a chance to flex that sharp-eyed muscle of yours. You have training in perception, so that's going to ease your task. Do you have anything else that you want to throw at this endeavor of yours? An asset maybe doesn't look like you have one.
No, and I don't think this is a trap or cryptic weird document.
Nope.
So I don't think either of those will help. Yeah, we're just normally I wouldn't even care, but I almost got poisoned the last time I didn't ask for things in a simple general store.
Right.
So I'm gonna spend 1 point of my intellect and to ease the task.
Okay. Yeah, you do have an edge of 2, so that's going to reduce it to 1 point. So it'll be a difficulty of 3, so it's going to make your target number 9.
That is a 13 on the die.
Okay. You're not sure, but handling the mermaid / sea lion statue kind of puts you in a strange mentality. You're not less anxious, but you're definitely starting to feel that way. And the more you try to figure out if this is some kind of aquatic animal that was whittled by description alone, without ever having seen it with their own eyes, the more it starts to feel comfortable in your hands. The more you start to realize that this wasn't just whittled, like this was sanded down. This feels smooth, and every time that you kind of rub your finger or thumb over one of the lines, there is just this pull back home. You start to hear the noises of a New England street as opposed to the quiet that you're starting to notice now here in Virginia. especially Salem.
Miss Kitty, if I may inquire, who makes your, is this Scrimshaw?
Oh, no, that's wood. That's what that is.
Who makes your trinkets?
Different people here and there. I believe that one was made by Gunther Drummond. We take things on consignment, so.
Well, Mr. Drummond is definitely an artist. These are a quarter, I believe.
Yes, sir. Quarter.
Well, then I will happily purchase this one.
Oh, good. We were trying to figure out what that is. Some of the folk here called it the Mermaid of the Mountain.
That's lovely.
I shudder to think what a mountain mermaid might actually look like, but it's extremely well made. Does he have any other pieces here?
No, that's the last one. Normally they tend to move pretty well. He has an eye for capturing an animal's visage on wood. But
is he local?
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Yeah, he's the son of Miss Geraldine Drummond.
We'll be seeing them shortly.
Yeah, they made the apple butter.
You can compliment him on his
did
work.
They?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I make a mental note of that and hand her a quarter.
Put that in your mind palace.
And my mind palace is already full of mind palace things like guards. Yes. So I will purchase the sea lion and mark it on my sheet.
There you go. You got a mermaid of the mountain statue.
It's so cute.
So you now have the option, Mr. Barrow, because you have acquired a new cipher. Would you like to keep yours as they are or switch out?
Well, I don't know what this one does.
Correct.
So where I wouldn't know how to use it, it I guess.
I believe I can inspect it.
That's an understanding magic.
Yeah,
an understanding magic roll will do it.
Outside in the cart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I do not have understanding magic. I have literacy and trap finding. Those are my two things.
I can tell you about those two things. They don't help you.
Nope,
well,
not
Kitty,
at all.
thank you so much, dear. And we are very sorry about the issue with the apple butter, but hopefully they'll be the family will be able to take care of it and make it right.
Yeah. I awfully disappointed. I was looking forward to having some of that later on.
Yeah.
It's best you don't.
Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and take it back now. But you have a lovely day, all right?
All right. You too. Be safe.
Mm-hmm. And then as we walk out to the cart, and Prudence just checks everything, makes sure everything's secure in the cart, which she trusts Joe to do. She's just piddling around to make sure there's nobody walking by. And once it's clear, she looks at Rand and says, "That's a very interesting little trinket you picked up there. You want me to take a look at it?"
Yes. The idea of a mermaid of the mountains is an intriguing thing.
I think it might be more to it than just its weird carving.
I have noticed it is a rather unique piece. By all means, I hand it over.
Okay, so she holds on to it and she turns it over in her hands and really looks at the intricate carvings on it and how it's been smoothed and all the work. I mean, to put that much work into something, it's got to have power. She knows how this stuff works.
Yep. So it's going to be an understanding roll from you.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll ease the task because you are trained.
Mm-hmm.
And you have crafting, so you know what it takes to create ciphers.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll ease it by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any assets you want to throw at this? Or do you think that's enough?
I tend to wear my great granny's ring for luck.
You think luck would be something that would help you on this roll, though? Or
I think I'm going to hold on to that for right now.
Okay.
Because I think working it by 2 down is already good enough.
She's already got 2 assets on it, or 2 easements, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So encouragement won't help her.
No.
No.
Because
I'm okay. It's good enough. I do pretty good.
Yeah. Does your encouragement count as a skill easement?
Yeah, actually.
I think
ease one of the following task types. Tasks related to
Okay.
any skill I'm trained or specialized in.
Are
Is
you
Joe-
specialized in crafting or
Understanding magic, yes.
Okay. Okay. So
Trained or
I
specialized
get
in.
another easement.
Yeah, trained or specialized in.
All right.
Or
Well, you can
attack
only
and
use-
defense.
Yeah, you can only use something twice
Yeah,
with
so-
skills.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
skills and assets are different. That's why.
Right. That's it's not an
yeah.
asset, so it's an ease of skill.
No. Yeah, that's fine. Two eases will bring you down to difficulty 2, so your target number is 4.
Awesome.
6. Sorry.
6. Okay.
It should be
Yeah.
super
Old Joe's
simple.
a buffer of the party,
That's
not a
14 on
you
the
know.
die.
Okay. It is in fact a cipher. It looks like, even though the majority of the item is very carefully and meticulously carved and sanded and made easy to hold, there are little hooks and little dug out grooves that give it a darker edge. Once you actually start to look at it, it's a dark splinter of a cipher. And I will let you, since you deciphered what it is, roll a d6 and add 2 to your total. And what that would give us its level.
It's going to be a level 4.
Okay. So a dark splinter is attached to a weapon, and for the next 10 minutes per cipher level, any successful attacks with that weapon also blind a seen foe for 1 round, hindering their next action.
Mr. Barrow, I think if you carry any kind of weapon on you, you need to hook this to it. It'll help you hurt something if you need to.
So you're telling me this trinket will somehow make a weapon more potent?
Yeah, like it might even cloud something's eyes.
Well, fortunately, I'm traveling with someone who knows these woods and these lands better than I ever could hope to. And he nods to Miss Palmer. And we have old Joe here in the event that something dangerous happens. He seems a fair hand with a box and other such. So I believe you should hold on to it.
All right, then.
Out of game, I have my 2 ciphers, and I'm perfectly fine with the ones that I have.
Okay. So then the question becomes: Does Prudence want to exchange any of her
Exchange
ciphers?
one? Hang on, let me see what I got.
By the way, I still have an open cipher. I've got 1
Oh,
out of 2, so I can always
There you
take
go.
1 from Prudence if she needs it.
Okay, do
Yeah.
you out of character, do you use a weapon?
I am the weapon,
I know.
but I have a
that to
pocket
yourself.
knife.
Swallow
I can use.
it.
Um,
Obviously,
have a
you have to
pocket knife.
swallow it.
shove it in your pants.
That's a different discussion.
Oh,
hang on, what am I missing here?
yeah. I know that you did exchange one with Brad.
Yeah, I got the Mad Stone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm trying to see what I got here.
No, you got the apple. As far as I'm, I
Oh, I've
have-
got 2 dolls. I've got the Applehead doll and the Mud doll,
Yeah.
which are Not Yours and Web of Lies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it and hold on to it
Okay.
for now. And I'm going to take out of my bag, as I'm putting it in my bag, the Applehead doll.
Okay.
And I'm going to pass that to old Joe.
Okay.
And be like, Joe, if you ever need somebody to watch over your stuff, just put this in place. It'll take care of it.
What level was it?
It's a level 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not yours. And it protects your shit.
Sure do. It sure do.
Okay, I made a note.
There you go.
Well, thank you kindly, Miss Prudence.
Of course.
I'll hold on to it till you need it again.
Well, it's all right if you need to use it. Okay.
I don't really have much stuff. I carry it all with me.
But you might accumulate. It's all right.
Just in case, now that I'm thinking about it, as they're kind of passing random
objects,
bits of back and forth. I kind of reach into my pocket for where my notebook is, pull it out, make a couple quick notes about the Drummonds, and then as he sees a playing card in his notebook he was using as a bookmark, and kind of thinks to himself for a moment, realizing he's going to visit this family that done poison the apple butter and apparently knows magic. And he folds the playing card in half and puts it back in his breast pocket near the notebook. And I will be activating my my conjure card for the rattlesnake.
Ooh.
Now, Joe, don't you worry about it. I can always make another one of them dolls. All right?
Like I said, Miss Prudence, I don't really
I just
so.
carve an apple and let it dry, and then I make up, a little outfit for it, and it's good to go.
It might keep my camera safe if I have to leave it somewhere. But.
There you go. There you go. I'm sure you'll find a use someday for it. And she gets back in the cart, makes sure Mr. Barrow's situated, and we head on out to the Drummond farm.
So for the audience, Ben, you're activating a cipher?
I am indeed activating a cipher because we're supposed to use these darn things. So I'm going to use them.
What is that's a sachet, yeah?
Yeah, no, it is the conjure card.
Oh.
Which is the rattlesnake. It is I pull up the little visual descriptor and then I will read what it does.
There you go.
That way the people will know. And yeah. So a conjure card for the rattlesnake is it's an image of a rattlesnake and rattle. And when you fold it, the rattlesnake, the rattles kind of sticks up behind the rattlesnake. And the next time a dangerous creature approaches the person with the card begins to rattle, telegraphing a visual and audible warning and providing the person with an asset on initiative rolls against that creature. And it doesn't have a duration. It just lasts until something dangerous is trying to take me by surprise.
Yeah, look at you.
I probably should have had this on me the whole time, but I just read what it did. So
you're fine.
Yeah.
All right. So all of you get on the cart and start heading towards the edge of town.
I don't ride on the cart. I walk behind the cart.
Right.
I prefer my feet to the cart thing.
Mm-hmm. And you head to the western side of town, far to the outside of the what's it called? The incorporation line, out past so many of the different properties that make up the edge of Roanoke Street, past the newest of the cemeteries, out beyond the parish collection of properties. And you'll come across this farmhouse, very much of the time. There's a 2-story actual house, and then there's a barn off to the side. And in the middle of being constructed, you'll see that there's another smaller house off past the barn itself, and you'll see that there is a small fence, maybe about 3.5 feet tall. It is a single post, 2 beams that go about 5 feet, another post, and then every 5 or 4 feet there's another hook in the fence line. There's no real animals. You can hear what sounds like the fluttering of some birds coming from the barn, but the property is mostly an orchard.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the trees. Most of them are barren. There is a collection of some that still have their apples dangling. And you hear what sounds like humming coming out from behind the house. Smells of salt, peppercorn, smells of vinegar, asphodita. But there's nobody out front.
Let's take this round back. And she leads Nellie round back.
If any of you Drummonds in there, we just bringing the cart around back. Don't come out shooting.
The humming stops as you say, don't come out shooting.
People around here tend to shoot their neighbors.
Trespassers get shot sometimes.
Noted.
Plus, it's neighborly to announce yourself when you're walking on someone's property you don't own.
I agreed.
Yeah. The humming will stop, and you'll see an older, wizened and wrinkled, weathered, dark-skinned woman. There is the traditional dress, the apron. Her hands are wet. Her sleeves are rolled up. You can see that she has an apple in one hand that's half peeled, and a knife in the other. And she comes around, and her eyes widen.
Miss
Prudence. This is Mamrie, the not slave of the house.
Yeah. Are the Drummonds here, dear?
Oh, Miss Drummond. And you see her kind of scamper. You hear the knife being put down on a chair, and you hear a door swing open. What's all of this about now, then? And you'll see an older white woman, gray, almost white hair, pulled back into a bun. Modest dress, working dress. The apron also has her sleeves kind of pushed up, and her hands are just as wet. And she sees the three of you, and her eyes lock on Prudence. Oh, well, isn't this a change of pace? Normally, I'm the one going to see you.
Yeah, Gertie, but I'm here to see you about this apple butter now.
Oh, are you looking to get some for your family?
No, unfortunately, those who partook of it this morning got sick.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And it won't no normal sickness now.
I am watching her reaction like a hawk.
Why don't we have a little talk about this batch?
Sure. Mamrie, why don't you fetch some seats for our friends? And the black woman says, of course, yes, of course. And rushes into the house, comes back and brings a collection of chairs out on the back porch.
Mm-hmm. And while she's doing that, we're going to go to the cart, of course, because Joe's going to be unloading. And I'm going to reach in my bag and slide.
one of the things, we smashed them all. I only brought back one thing of it from the other store.
Well, from the general store we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, some. I'm going to slice open my mud doll, spill some beans, and mention Gertrude's name. She ain't going to be able to lie to me.
Ooh, what is mud doll?
That is Web of Lies, level 2.
Nice.
I spill the beans while saying the name of someone I can see for the next 10 minutes per cipher level. So for 20 minutes, that person is unable to tell a lie, even to themselves.
I like it. But you see that she kind of micromanages memory the whole time, just kind of like telling her where to put each of the chairs, watching and smiling as Joe kind of pulls the crate from the general trading post.
Rather than sit down, I'm going to put the crate by the chairs and stand with one foot propped on the crate.
And
I'm not
Prudence is going to hold the one jar that we got from one place.
Yep.
She's going to be holding one jar while she's talking.
Yeah. And she'll reach down, she'll grab one of the jars, open and smell it.
I know it smells perfect, but I'm going to tell you what happened was people ate it. And the more they ate of it, the worse they got. They literally would start choking, would turn blue, collapse, until they vomited it up. And when they vomited it up, it was black and thick so thick. Black as night and thick.
And let me tell you, I was very disappointed because the apple butter smelled simply divine.
But the evidence is on his shirt. I wanted you to see.
It was delicious.
The secret ingredient, my friend, is in the honey. And she dips her finger into the jar and kind of brings it up. And as close as possible, she brings it up to her nose and to the top of her upper lip. And you see that she just kind of sits there for a moment and then flicks the thing down onto her porch. Someone's tampered with this. It's faint, but it's definitely been finagled in some way. Who did you let near my apple butter memory? And the black woman just kind of backs up. No one, miss. I swear, I didn't let anyone come here who wasn't supposed to come pick it up.
Are you sure about that? And I'm gonna use my persuasion since I'm trained in it. Yeah,
you are.
Persuasion on that one.
Okay, so that'll ease it once. Anything else you want to throw at this?
I'm trying to decide.
Yep.
It's an intellect check. I got an edge of 2, so I might as well put a level of effort in it too.
Okay. So it'll cost you one
whole point. Yeah.
Intellect. So it'll ease your task by 2. So it'll bring it down to difficulty 3. So target number 9.
I got a 20. So
nice.
Let's see what effect I want to go with that.
Yeah.
I can get to pick a major kind of effect.
You do.
Someone that's not in your party explodes. That's the best one to pick.
It can't be something with me. It generally has to be some sort of part of the story. Trying to think of what I want to do for it.
Yeah. While you're doing that,
okay.
Rand, do you want to give me a perception check? To notice something interesting. Do you want to throw anything else besides your skill and perception?
I didn't declare it before I rolled, so I'm not going to cheat and say, I'll throw a bunch at it. Okay. I got a 16.
Okay. You will notice that as Mamrie backs up and the back of her foot hits one of the basins where you see the peeled apples kind of floating, there is a dark crimson paste that seems to be lining the bottom of the tub.
For my major effect, can I have her reveal something, maybe blurt something she didn't mean to share?
Sure.
I don't know what. That's on you, but
Yeah. And she'll look down. She'll curse. And
Kind of as she trips, Rand moves surprisingly quickly, and kind of catches to steady her, make sure she's okay.
Oh, please, sir, you don't have to. And you see her trying to ease herself off of you. It's
And I nod and give her a smile, but then kind of look like I'm noticing it for the first time, and walk over to the basin and just kind of idly using the end of my pen, just kind of scrape a little bit of the stuff off.
Yeah. You'd have to dip it into the basin itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm using the pen and not my hands, because it's probably virulent, awful poison.
The water is cool as the tips of your fingers kind of touch it and push past the surface. It looks like regular water. You easily pull some of the smear off of the bottom of it. It doesn't look like it's thick at all. Like, it actually looks like a kind of jam almost.
Cool.
But Mamrie will avoid eye contact with Joe as he asks if she's sure. And then she'll turn to Geraldine. I didn't want to say anything, man, but I did let Gunther come near, and he pulled a couple of bottles to give to his friends. I didn't think nothing of it. And Geraldine raises her hand up and back, and you see Mamrie flinch, and she catches herself.
For just a second, and people who aren't her don't know if they saw it, but it almost seemed like the shadows behind her as her arm went back started to get darker. And then Rand kind of catches himself, and he's now kind of moving closer to make sure that he's not directly between them, but he's definitely got his body positioned where she wouldn't be able to take a swing at her. And almost to kind of distract from all of that, kind of holds the pen up. It's an interesting mash. Is this apple? It seems more astringent than that.
And you see the moment that you come into her field of vision, her face softens immediately, whereas she had this disgust and distaste towards Mamrie. The moment that she sees you step into her field of vision, everything washes away. And she's like, oh, no, that's Mamrie here has superstitions about the localities and whatnot, different things here and there. That's supposed to keep bad spirits at bay, if you believe that kind of thing. Nothing really bad about it. She takes a bit off the pen and puts it in her mouth. It's just some soda, some salt, some sugar, a couple of peppers, asafoetida, local things.
Interesting. He kind of pulls a handkerchief out and cleans the pen off.
If Prudence would like to give me an understanding roll.
Absolutely, I would.
To make sense of the ingredients she just said out loud.
Mm-hmm. That's a 15.
15. They are normally associated, like the black pepper, the red pepper, the asafoetida. those are normally associated with protection.
Mm-hmm. And the salt is to keep bad things away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's right by the ingredients for it. Gertie, where's your boy?
Oh, he's around. Haven't seen him since this morning. Around breakfast time, ate real hurried, took off. I imagine he must be somewhere in the woods or out with the other lumbers.
He come by for supper? Or dinner?
He should.
All right. He might have his dinner out there working, but we'll come by just after supper.
Is this Gunther we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your son is an amazing craftsman.
Oh.
I don't know if we've been properly introduced. My name's Rand. I'm an author with the Boston Globe, doing pieces in the region, and his work is magnificent.
Boston, like the city?
Yeah, well, I'm from Salem proper, but I worked in Boston for quite some time.
Like in Massachusetts?
Yes.
You're far away from home, my friend.
I am very far away from home, but my family's from the area, and I've never been here, so I figured it's a good time to do a piece on it.
Are you tied to Vernon?
Yeah, he's a Barrow.
Oh.
He's a relative, one whom I'm not very close to, nor have I even truly met. His work is exemplary. It's beautiful. Who taught him how to carve?
No, your boys, honey.
Your sons. Who taught him how to work?
Picked it up himself. Nothing much to do out here except, do your chores and then figure out what to do with yourself. So after we lost Noah, I kept a closer eye on him than anyone else.
Prudence looks over at Mamrie and just while they're having a conversation, just says, "Dear, just make sure you leave an apple on each tree."
All right. Yeah, that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Just one. That's all you need. That keeps the devil away.
We need all the help we can get with that. And
I got a feeling.
Geraldine just kind of like nods. And you notice that she looks past all of you towards the wood line, and then just kind of shakes something out of her system, and she goes, "If you want, I'll tell Gunther to come by your place, Prudence."
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. I'm gonna take these gentlemen and let them have some dinner and help Mr. Byron here get cleaned up because he looks a fright. And, get them fed and back on their way.
Sure.
And he makes a note of the ingredients she listed off in the mash.
Okay.
In case he wants to try to replicate it someday.
Yeah.
Gertie, is everything all right?
Oh, sure. Just having to deal with now I have to make sure that all of my apple butter is taken care of, and she shoots Mamrie a dirty look.
I'm not so sure it was Mamrie's fault. You know your boy can be mighty persuasive.
Well, I trusted someone to take better care of my apple butter. You're lucky things have changed, Mamrie. And there is a coldness in her threat that you didn't need to have spilled beans to know that is a harsh truth.
You know that.
Yes, things most certainly have changed, and for the better, I might add.
And you know that bad luck comes on people who abuse their servants, just so you know.
Oh,
you don't need that kind of bad luck on your place here. Trust me.
Oh, no. Memory's fortunate. She has a roof over her head and food in her belly, don't you, Memory? Memory nods, just kind of grabs the bottom of her apron in her fists.
And literally, Prudence cuts her eyes to Mamrie and then looks dead at Gertie again. All right, Gertie. You take care now.
All right.
And she gets back in her cot.
It was lovely to meet you, ma'am. I look forward to trying a batch of your apple butter that is safer for consumption. And you, Mamrie, I will be checking back on you again, if that is permissible. I don't look back at Gertrude. This is purely at her.
Yeah. And she just looks at Geraldine, and Geraldine looks at you with a heavy sigh. She is her own person.
That's why I asked her.
As long as it's not on my property, sure.
Mamrie, may your path be blessed, dear.
And she smiles and nods. You as well.
I'm going to regret doing this.
Too, bro. Live your life.
Live your life.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
It's all right. I got something to do after we leave, so it's okay.
Okay, so we're going to get on out of here now.
All right.
As soon as we're out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
You all go on ahead. You taking
I'm
Mr. Barrow to your place?
Yeah, you come on by and get you something to eat, Joe.
I'll be by later. I need to check a few things.
All right, I'll have you something warmed up so that you can have a nice filling meal before you got to go back to the store, okay?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Something like a smile tugs at Rand's face at Joe's sudden change in demeanor.
Give me a roll for Rand real quick.
Okay.
And just tell me what you get.
That is a 16.
Okay. As Joe is separating himself from you and Prudence, you kind of scan the property and you'll see one of the curtains suddenly close. But before it does, you will have seen just the side of a little boy's head. Just kind of like he was sticking his ear to the window to try to listen.
They have another child there. And I kind of point out to the window. Someone was watching the conversation. Joe, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Hey,
No, you don't worry
I offer
about
a big
me.
smile.
I'm just going to have a
Prudence
look.
would know about this family.
Mhm.
Is that Mamrie's?
It is not.
Who is the child?
As far as you know about the Drummonds, the only child that Geraldine has left is Gunther. Noah died when he was 10 years old, drowned in the river.
Mr. Bell, what did the child look like?
I give as detailed description as I can, given the momentary glimpse that I had.
Yeah, brown hair, a little bit of a cauliflower ear. Couldn't see the actual face though.
Yeah. I bet that was Noah. That was Gertie's other son. He passed when he was about 10.
Then that would pretty much preclude it being Noah.
No, it
Not in
wouldn't.
these parts.
No, it wouldn't.
Right. I forgot the ghosts. Common thing here, right?
For some, not everybody can see him. Not everybody can hear him. Not everybody can feel him. But for some.
Well, I don't believe in ghosts.
Well, you just
I'm
saw
sorry.
one. Whether you don't have to believe in them, but they sure believe in you.
I saw a child, which, given her behavior towards what I presume to be her former slave, I am concerned for. I don't feel that any child should be.
Gunther doesn't have any children. Gertie has been too old for children for at least 20 years.
Yes, but this is a remote enough farmstead where if a child went missing, they could hide out here quite readily. Or in the case of perhaps not wanting to, she may have kidnapped the boy for all we know.
Are you from places where it's common that people's children just go up and disappear?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't happen here.
I told you I'm from Boston.
Yeah, that doesn't happen here.
It's a much larger city.
Everybody knows everybody, and we all keep tabs on everybody's damn children.
Yes, everyone knows everyone, and there are ghosts everywhere. That is what I've figured out so far.
And you don't have to believe. You may think it's cockamamie stuff, but that's all right. That's all right. You can live your whole life never believing. It don't change a damn thing.
I've seen many beautiful and terrible things in my time on this world.
I'm sure.
But the dead walking again is not one of them.
I'm smacking their donkey on the ass so they start walking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking and arguing on our way to the farm.
My goal.
This will be a prolonged conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She'll be telling them, no, I can tell you. I can summon them. What do you want me to say?
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that we're going to have ghost time.
Yes, we're going to talk ghosts. And you're going to say, no, they don't. I'm like, yeah, they do.
Yep.
Once they're out of sight, I'm turning into a vulture.
Okay.
I'm going to fly back to the farm. Find me a tree in the wood line where I can see the whole place with a thick branch, and then shift back to human form and just sit there and watch the farm from my branch.
When you land, you see that the moment that Prudence and Rand are out of sight, Geraldine goes back inside. You can hear the sound of heavy furniture shifting, and then you see her come back out, and she leaves the door open, and you'll see a small shadow kind of dart from one room to the other inside the house. And as you shift down from your bird form back into your familiar kind of human form, you'll hear what sounds like something crunch in the woods behind you. And then you'll hear a familiar female voice just call your name. But it's not Joe. But the name you hear is familiar, feels right.
I don't know what name you're calling. That's not my name anymore. That man's dead. Buried. I'm going to look to see if I can see who did it.
First glance, there's nobody there. Do you have perception trained?
Persuasion, bluffing, misdirection, deception, manual dexterity. Leadership? Not really. Perception's not my thing. I had it when I was in animal form because I get traits that come with the animal, but once I shift out, I have to shift back.
Do you have anything asset-wise that can help you, or no?
Not really.
No. Okay. So straight roll.
But intellect roll?
It would be an intellect roll, so you could use some effort.
Yeah, I'm going to. Let's see. I got effort level 2. I'll put 2 points into it. So let's see. 3, 2 makes it 5 minus 2. It makes it 3. Add them up.
3 total. Yep. So you've eased it twice. So that'll bring your difficulty down to 4. So your target number is 12.
12 exactly.
Oh. You look around. You've been around these woods long enough. You know the ins and outs of some of the places. The Drummond farmhouse, the orchard, far out on the west side, there's a river that gets cut by the railroad. But it isn't inhospitable, but it's also been one of the few places that you don't feel comfortable in. And there's a moment where you see the kind of shrubbery, the bushes shake slightly as if somebody had been there, but is not there anymore.
You should know. The dead should stay buried, especially in these mountains. Nothing good comes of trying to raise what's dead. I'll have a talk with me. You can come on out and talk. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. Watching that there farmhouse for a little bit.
Stays quiet.
I'm going to ignore it, settle right back down.
Okay.
I've gone way too long, deliberately. Not trying to find out. I don't want to find out now.
After a bit, you'll see that Mamrie finishes with the apples she was peeling. One basin has all of the skins, and you'll see Geraldine come out, dump some boiling water into the basin, something from a small clear decanter. It doesn't look like water, but it definitely has the same properties. It's got a little yellow tint to it. But as she starts kind of thrusting her hands in and out of that basin, she has Mamrie clean the apples that were peeled in their basin. And you hear a horse come clopping up, and there is this scrawny, sickly man that comes riding up. He's got a mustache, 5 o'clock shadow, a little bit of a tousled black hair to him. He comes down, does a little figure 8 with the reins, the kind of leather straps to the reins of the horse, comes around, kisses Geraldine on the cheek, and reaches down and grabs one of the apples out of the basin and just bites into it. She makes motion with her nose into the house, and he goes inside. From your vantage point, you'll be able to see the kitchen table. He sits down, puts a plate in front of him, and as he's about to eat, you see him put the apple at arm's length out in front of another chair, and that chair will slowly pull itself away from the table, and you'll see the apple jostle, and you'll see him kind of say something because you see his lips move, and then he finishes the food. Once Geraldine is done, she dries her hands off and she says something, points. He nods, finishes his food, puts the plate away, comes back, grabs the apple. He will look like he is tussling the top of somebody's head that isn't there, and come back out, get on his horse, and ride off. And as he does, you'll hear that female voice again. Hey.
Don't you see I'm busy? I got a man to follow. What? Say your piece before I get out of here.
Wind picks up. but otherwise it is quiet.
That's what I thought. Time to shift form again. I'm going to go follow the horse for now.
Okay.
Going to use, let's see. This time I'm going raven, I think. I'm an awful big raven, but I'm a raven.
Yeah.
A rat-sized raven.
And you'll follow him all the way out to where's Prudence's house, on the south side?
Kind of southwest.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of southwest. And the farm you'll see first, the big farmhouse and stuff, that's a son's place. But if you keep following down the path, it'll cut down through the fields that are now fallow because everything's been harvested. But you'll see on the edge of the woods, there's a little old log homestead. That's where she is.
Yeah. And as the sun is setting and you see the horse pulling up to the Palmer kind of residence, there's a young girl who is collecting laundry off of a line. And as you see him come over and get off his horse and announce himself to Prudence and Rand, who has had a change of clothing.
Yep, she gave him a good-hearted lunch, and let him clean up with a basin and a pitcher of water, and gave him, and that he was about the size of her last husband, which she still has his clothing and stuff right now. She ain't had the heart to let it go yet, and she's like picked out a few things that he can wear.
Thank you, Miss Palmer. I appreciate the kindness.
Of course, of course. I may be prickly at times, but I do things because I care.
Nah, you're fine.
As Gunther announces himself and the two of you go out to meet him, I think this is a good point to go to break for tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys. Ooh, guess who's back? Back again. So welcome back to the second half, everybody, of Old Gods of Appalachia. In the first half, we got to see some rampant racism.
Yeah, we did. That bitch.
You know, unfortunately, is something that will not go away so far. But we are now at the Palmer residence at the farm land that has been in the Palmer family for some time now. Mm-hmm. We left off with Gunther pulling up, announcing himself, with old Joe plopping himself down at the tree line. Good view of everything going on. Clara has taken her social cues to make herself scarce.
Mm-hmm. Now, you get to your studies, Clara.
Yes, ma'am. She rushes off inside. So it is...
That your daughter, Miss Palmer?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Prudence, Rand, and Gunther outside on the front porch.
Gunther, I'm glad you could stop by. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, Miss Palmer. My mother said that you wanted to see me.
Yeah, you doing all right there?
Change of weather always gets to me.
I want to take a good look at him. Come
here,
get a little closer. My eyes ain't what they used to be.
Oh, yeah, of course. And
she'll actually take his hand while she looks at him.
It is cold.
Mm.
I don't see.
I rolled a 16 on it.
Oh, okay. I don't see any skills that pertain to medicinal activities. What kind
Sensing danger.
Oh, I mean, he's not dangerous.
Yeah, if he's a vampire, I believe he explodes when Miss Palmer touches him, so that's important as well.
If not, it can be just a straight intellect roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's seen a number of sick people.
No, if he was a vampire, she'd be like, go on, get.
Go on, get.
And he'd have to go. He'd have to leave.
Get on out here.
I want that on the shirt. Just a ghost running away. Get on, get.
Get on now.
We want your kind around here. But he feels cold to the touch, which is strange because there's little droplets of sweat on his brow and on the temples are moist. You can see that the hair on the top of his head is kind of dry and tousled, but there's patches that look moist on the side about the ears. His eyes got bags. Doesn't look like he's been sleeping well. But otherwise, he's standing. He's got a regular pulse. No cough. But he is like,
You sure you're all right now?
Yeah. We were working hard to get the apple butter up and out. We still missing a couple of trees still to kind of make sure that everybody that ordered it gets their.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we had to return the apple butter today.
I saw.
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
There was something in it that made a bunch of people sick. You know anything about that?
Can't say I do, ma'am. I know that I was helping to put them into their crates to make sure that that Mamrie didn't mess up any of the numbers. But otherwise, everything was going where it needed to go. I know that I took a couple of bottles, a couple mason jars for myself.
Did you eat any?
No, those for friends.
Okay, have they eaten any?
I don't know. I hope that they didn't. If you're telling me that they're...
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm sorry, what was the officer that I helped?
Oh, good question.
I forget his damn name.
Um,
He's just some damn idiot, but
He's, idiot men.
Idiot men.
It was Ronnie.
Right.
Ronald McMillan.
Yeah, poor Ronnie almost died.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
He doesn't like apple butter.
Oh, he ate the mess out of it this morning.
You're a much better carver than you are a maker of apple butter, sir, if you don't mind my saying so.
Oh, I don't make it, sir. I don't have the hand or the mind for the spices.
Wow. Your talents lie elsewhere, I'll say that. The sculpture I bought that you made was beautiful.
She takes it out. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Real pretty.
Yeah, I get a dime for everyone that sells.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm.
I didn't know you had the knack.
Yeah.
And she looks at him.
That one I had to carve from a description. I haven't seen many of seahorses, I think they're called. That doesn't look anything like a seahorse.
Mermaid of the Mountains, I believe I heard it described as.
Where'd you get the wood?
Mental image again.
That's what Kitty calls it, but she's
she's a character.
Yeah.
She's a character.
She's gonna make Georgie a good wife, I think.
Perhaps. Where'd you get the wood?
From my family home. It's one of the apple trees.
That's very interesting. Very interesting.
I know.
That apples from your farm made into apple butter made people sick. And this here is full of magic.
Magic?
I mean, it's well crafted. I don't know about magic, but you definitely have a talent, my young friend.
If damn idiots don't quit ignoring what I say. You men seem to think you're always the smartest damn people in the room.
I have not ignored anything, ma'am, that you've said.
I'm telling you, this thing has magic.
That must have happened at some other point. I don't.
No, that's not how these work. You put the magic in as you're making it. You have the knack.
No, ma'am, my mother wouldn't stand for that.
Well,
we're God-fearing folk.
I understand that. Being God-fearing or not ain't got damn thing to do with it.
I think it has everything to do with it, ma'am.
It really don't. But
we don't practice those kinds of things that people say goes on here.
I want to do an understanding roll on him
Oh.
to see if he's been touched by something.
Ooh. That's gonna be an interesting little. Okay. So you got training and understanding, so you can ease the difficulty by 1. Anything else you want to throw?
I will
at this
throw
roll?
an effort on that too.
Okay.
Mhm.
You have 1 edge in intellect, so it'll cost you 2 points.
So it costs 2 points in effort?
It costs 2 points of intellect to
2 points.
ease it by 1. Yeah, to ease it by 1.
Okay, and then
Actually, you have 2 efforts. You could lower it another 2, ease it another 2 for 4 points instead.
I'll do that.
Okay. So you eased it 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so your difficulty now becomes 4. So your target number is 12.
Okay. That's a 19.
Ooh, that's a critical roll. That's because 17 to 20 is where you do some nice things here in
Excellent.
the system. So
Excellent. What do I do?
17 to 19 is the minor effect.
yeah.
What do I do? I'm about to show how powerful Granny Palmer really is.
Let's find out what you get to do. Yeah, you can discern something minor that goes above and beyond the
I'm mainly
initial
looking to
rolls.
see if he has been touched by something either green, dark, or other.
He has been touched. That is for sure by making the roll.
Okay.
Because of your critical roll, let's give you an extra tidbit of information here.
Excellent.
It is definitely dark, and it is definitely recent.
Gunther, dear, have you had anything strange happen to you recently? Now, you can talk to me. It ain't gonna go nowhere.
I mean, I what it's hard to explain.
Would you like to come in and have some tea?
Oh no, I'm all right, thank you.
Okay. Maybe help put your nerves at ease just a little bit.
Oh no, I'm not nervous, Miss Palmer. I'm just there's some things that me and my friends saw maybe fortnight ago up at the old fort.
Now, what'd you see?
We promised not to say anything about what we saw. Oh,
I get it. Now, understand that y'all promised each other, probably out of fear, to not tell nobody. Because you don't want people thinking you're crazy.
Right.
Or you don't want people calling you cowards. I understand. But I have been in this area longer than you, not as long as your mama, but longer than you. My family has been in this area since the first people of our complexion settled. I know things about this place that even your mama don't know.
I've heard Mamrie talk about the Melungians and all that. This wasn't anything having to do with them kind of peoples.
Honey, not everything is people out in these woods.
You say that, and Joe hears the crunching of leaves and twigs under him. There are a little trio of venison that have made themselves known to you, at least. One is a large, bulky kind of buck, impressive set of antlers. There is a female doe next to him, and then completing the little Goldilocks trio of deer is a young, thin buck with his antlers just kind of coming in. There's still the red kind of bloody velvet from him having taken to a tree recently.
Do they look up at me in the tree?
No.
Okay,
so
it looks like they're looking to see if they're doing something undeer-like.
Yeah, they've got their eyes set on Granny Palmer.
Well, then
Do I notice at all?
Let's find out.
All right.
Let's have you roll a perception
Like I
roll.
might have things hanging from the trees or tied to bushes that shakes if things come round. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Do I hear a rattlesnake's rattle?
You do. You do. We'll say that
and I also have sense danger. So.
Okay, so you'll ease it by 3 because we'll use your homemade traps as assets for this.
Sure.
So that'll lower your difficulty to 3. So your target number is 9.
Okay.
Rand doesn't need to roll because he hears the rattlesnake.
That's 17.
Oh, yeah, that's another minor thing. You will hear the little kind of
it's like
jingling.
bones and things, and
the little clattering,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of clack, clack, clack.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately you know from what direction they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Because I have different things at different directions. Yeah.
And so you will also spot Joe with your 17.
Crouched in the tree in human form.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she just nods to Joe, and she looks square at the deer, or no deer, as they seem to be, because her little spidey senses are just a-tangling.
Yeah, without even kind of knowing I'm doing it, one arm kind of goes in front of Miss Palmer, because she seems like she's got a lot of chutzpah and a lot of spunk, but she's also a very old woman.
Well, she's not that old. She's only in her 40s.
Yeah, come on, man.
Which for around here seems to be very, very old.
That's
so I also know that this isn't right, and my pocket is vibrating. So my hand kind of goes into my coat pocket and wraps around the Colt revolver that I have in there.
Yeah.
Now, Gunther, I want
Gunther
you.
drops to his ass the moment he sees you where you're looking. He makes eye contact with the deer, and he falls, and you see him start
Convulsing?
Not convulsing, but he starts shaking. He's sputtering. His eyes widen. The sweat starts to really kind of come down, and all the color drains from him. And the deer charge.
Okay.
So this is where it's going to be really fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was watching them, the moment they make a move, I'm leaping out of the tree and shifting form to bear as I leap.
Ooh. Excellent. All right.
And
so
I got to double check real quick something I want to do with my bear form here, just to make sure.
Live your life.
Right page. Because I can find where my mouse is. Too many monitors, not enough time.
Too many monitors, not enough time.
So it cost me
that thing
one.
That I said I wasn't going to do is totally going to happen now.
It cost me one of my intellect pool to shift form. That's it, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to put a level of effort into it.
Oh, what does that do?
That's going to let me retain the ability to speak while I'm in that form.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that won't be creepy at all.
Not at all.
I know. Now, I can't apply my
Yeah.
effort to the same role as I did to shift the form as I can do to speak. So it's going to cost me 3 more on top of that. So, still worth it.
Okay.
Um,
So initiative is really interesting as far as the system is concerned, and we're getting into combat, which is going to be a nice little break from the narrative to kind of talk about the rules as far as the cipher system is concerned. So there is an initiative skill. If you have it, it eases your roll. Initiative is based off of the difficulty number for each of the creatures that you're fighting. So if you roll under the difficulty, you go before them. If you roll over it, or if you roll over it, you go before them. If you roll under, you go after them. So it's a line in the sand. Prudence has initiative as a skill.
I do.
Yeah. Rand has initiative as a skill.
and it's been eased by 2 additional levels because of the rattlesnake.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have anything to ease it.
Yeah. Bear form
Yeah.
just trains me in climbing and smell now.
Okay.
And medium weapons, because my claws are considered medium weapons. I can certainly
Nice.
use them.
Yeah. So that means that Joe has a straight roll, no modifiers. Prudence has the skill and Saints and Danger, so you've eased it by 2. And then Rand has eased it by 3. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Need to make sure my mute wasn't on because I've
Yeah.
been very good about that lately.
Okay. So Rand actually lowers it to a 0, so you automatically go first. It is a no-brainer task for you. What did Granny Prudence get?
A 10.
A 10. That's definitely higher than them. And what did Joe get?
15.
15. Hot damn.
I'm liking these old god dice that I got as part of the
Nice.
Kickstarter.
They
Can't
they
really
are-
see them because you got too much shadow on you.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they're
know because
fancy.
I'm old Joe and I'm brooding and intimidating over here.
So everybody gets to go before the not deer. Look at that. You
Hey,
guys
dark
are
and broody.
Mhm.
probably gonna mollywop some deer, some fake deer. So Rand, you're gonna kick things off for us.
So the deer begin to charge, and as the sunset is, the fading sun is still casting shadows through the trees.
Yes.
I'm kind of picturing the deer running, and you're just seeing like the tree branches casting this web of shadows over them. And as they're starting to move towards us, those shadows that are already kind of webbing the deer begin to solidify and tighten. I'm going to enact Ribbons of Darkness, which is normally a 2 intellect task, but I have freebies for this. So for the next minute, darkness condenses within an area within long range that is no bigger than an immediate distance in diameter, manifesting as swirling ribbons. All tasks attempted by creatures in the area are hindered, and leaving the area requires the creature's entire action just to move.
Okay.
And I can dismiss it as an action to initiate.
Okay.
So the shadows begin to writhe and twist as the darkness between spaces begin to take shapes, and they're starting to find themselves entangled by it. And I don't really know what's going on. So gun is now fully drawn. I kind of standing in front of Prudence, and I've got it trained on the deer. I cannot fire though, because that was my action.
Yep.
So
Gotcha. That'll bring us to Joe. What is Joe going to do as he sees these tentacles of shadow just suddenly wrap around the 3 deer?
I'm attacking one of the deer.
All right.
I'm going
And their
for
defense
I'm
is
going for
hindered.
the buck with the antlers. I'm gonna let him taste some. See if he can bear it.
Ooh,
See if he can
terrible.
bear my attack.
Terrible. So you're going for the big buck or the little buck?
I'm going for the big buck.
Big buck. All right. So you're going to make an attack roll.
Yep. That'll be might with my particular in bear form's a might roll for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said that you become trained with your claws?
No, I just can use them suddenly.
Okay.
Because normally I'm incapable of using medium weapons, but
Yes.
in bear form I'm capable.
Okay.
So it's a might roll. I'm going to throw a level of effort on it. Well,
Okay.
let me think. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'll throw a level of effort, which actually costs me 3 of my might pool because I don't have any edge for that, and it costs me 1 out of my speed pool because all brains no brawn means I have to spend an extra point in my speed pool just to use might effort.
Oof. Okay.
Yep. But I'll do it.
Yeah. So
I shouldn't have wasted those points. I got an 18.
18. Yeah.
I shouldn't have wasted them.
So it's a critical. So for damage, it's going to do an extra point.
Yep, which means 5 points.
5 points of damage to it.
Yep.
Minus its armor.
My bear claw. Bear claw.
Means that it takes that much. Boop. Got it. Your claw digs into its flesh, and you can see that there is something of a blackish ichor that bubbles up as you claw into it. There's no blood. This is not a thing that should exist. And it lets out a screech that is not deer-like. And as it turns to look at you, you will see some of the ridges on its head suddenly open up, and there are 8 pairs of eyes along its head. Its mouth opens, and this long, kind of venom-like tongue comes out. There is this ooze of saliva that looks a bit green as it lashes out at some of the tentacles grabbing it.
You're one ugly motherfucker. And
Max,
Bear just said that.
I absolutely hate it.
That brings us to Granny's turn. Granny Prudence, what are you going to do to these guys? Coming onto your property?
I am going to use magic.
Oh,
All of a sudden, you hear Prudence yell out, and she got some lungs on her.
Where's?
Guardians of the East, Guardians of the West, Guardians of the North, Guardians of the South, protect this sanctuary of peace and reprieve. And she's going to use her fucking magic.
Okay. So, what are you hoping to accomplish with this?
I am expecting others that are inclined to be benevolent to assist, whether that be spirits, whether that be other entities.
Okay.
Because she aligns with them and her place is a sanctuary.
Yep. So that's going to be using magic, which you're trained in.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to throw at this? You got 1 eased so far.
I will put effort into it.
Okay. That would be an intellect. How much effort do you want? Because you've got
I've got
2
two.
levels worth.
Yeah.
1 edge. So if you go and put 2 of them, that'll put another 4 points down.
I will do 2.
Okay.
because this is her home. This is not up for negotiation.
Okay.
And her daughter is inside. Ain't nothing gonna hurt her child.
Yeah. So we started at difficulty 6, so you've eased it down to difficulty 3, so your target number is 9.
Okay. And I got a 15.
Okay.
It's basically a massive summoning.
Yeah. And you hear the neighing of horses in the distance. And you can see what looks to be some of the forestry guys, the lumberjacks, kind of coming up the trail from this side of the woods, and one of them sees the large bear and the 3 creepy looking deer, and you'll hear the thunder crack of a shot go off, and the big buck drops. But you see them kind of come down off of their wagon and start rushing, axes in hand. The one with the rifle starts to reload. That brings us to the deer. And they will just attack old Joe for getting involved. So how does Joe want to defend himself?
I mean, I'm a bear.
Yeah.
Pretty much going to be might, unfortunately.
Okay.
Note their attempts to harm Joe are hindered.
Correct.
And I'm counted as 1 point of armor because my leather jacket does count in bear form. This is one of the only items that work when I'm in bear form. Passive things like armor.
Interesting. So you're just gonna rely on your toughness to kind of take the damage?
Yep.
Perfect. So go ahead and roll the dice to kind of defend yourself. They're hindered in their attack, so that'll ease you instead. So all you got to do is get a 6 or higher, and you the first attack just kind of grazes off of your hide.
Got a 10.
Yeah. And now roll for the doe.
I rolled 10 again. I rolled double 10s this time.
Nice. Both of them the doe tries to lash out with her hooves, and they bend in an unnatural way. It is creepy. It almost looks human the way it gets up on its hind legs to kind of attack you, almost like a mockery of a boxer. The young buck tries to just dig its antlers into you, and you're not sure if it's a trick of the shadow or if it's just because you've gotten closer to them, but the antlers look jagged, spiked, unnatural. Nothing natural is evident here. Even the big buck that got shot and had its side kind of explode out in this cone of black ichor and white bone and nothing else looks like it's desiccated, like it had been dead for several decades before it was animated again. And this will bring us back to the top of the round. Rand,
I hate everything about all of this.
Good.
Good. Yeah, this is awful. I don't like it. So I'm going to shoot it because I don't have the Guardians of the West and East. I offer a prayer to Samuel Colt and pull the trigger.
There you go. Some saints are more earthbound than others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that shot there. Ain't nothing.
Nothing wrong. Does Rand have any training in?
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 1.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna.
The answer was yes. By the way, I did have training in firearms.
Okay.
I am a competent marksman.
I'm gonna hop in with a GM intrusion then, as you've as you've opened the door for me.
Less.
A1.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to throw some salt on that.
Okay. So you're going to use one of your experience points to have him reroll?
I think I will.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I can roll a 1 twice in a row.
So you say?
No way.
Sad trombone.
Yeah.
Nope. That is a 19.
There
that
you
is significantly
go.
better.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Palmer.
There you go. It's not like the GM intrusion tells me to throw more deer at you from nowhere. You guys are terrible. So 19 will add 3 points to your damage.
Yep.
So a light revolver is a light weapon, so that's 2 points of damage.
It is considered a medium weapon.
It's considered a medium weapon.
Yeah, firearms.
So that's 4.
It's damage 4. So that would be 7 with the extra +3.
Damn, boy. Which one did you shoot?
Well, the big one done had his side shot out by my new favorite spell, Summon Redneck 1.
Summon lumberjacks.
Yeah.
And so I'll shoot the next one in back. Basically it's lunging forward towards Joe, and its antlers get caught on that, almost like at this point it almost looks like chicken wire made out of black tendrils.
Mm-hmm.
And as it's straining towards him, the shot takes it right in the throat.
Boom. An explosion of black ichor shoots out from it, almost like a little swirling tornado, as your bullet just kind of digs in and finds purchase, but it does not drop it. It turns its head in your direction, and as it opens its mouth, you will see this massive eye blink as it takes notice of you, and it starts to pull in your direction. Did you like that, by the way? Does that help the situation? That it has.
Well, I liked that I heard it. Okay. I don't like anything after that. the shot did damage. Everything after the shot did damage, I'm going to say was awful.
Got it.
And I hate it. I don't. Here's what I've figured out. I don't like the South, is what my character is quickly figuring out.
Understood. Joe, what do you want to do for your turn?
Well, I got 2 things I'm going to do, which one of them is not an action, but I'm going to do it. First thing I'm going to do, since I'm in bear form and can speak, it's time to shake the bones, which is an attack. Where my words are so powerful they cause the bones of a creature to shudder and shake. So with that bear roar, that's vaguely hurling man curses at him.
Okay.
I'm going to hit him with shake the bones. Just a different way to attack other than with my claws. It does 2 might and 2 intellect. So for a creature, it still does 4 damage, same as my weapons.
It's
just a different attack.
Yeah, its defense is hindered, so go ahead and roll.
I got a 17.
Okay.
So that's 5.
Yeah. Yeah, and
then just to show the viewers something different, I want to spend 1 of my XP for a player intrusion.
Oh.
I want to invoke one of my speaker one, an NPC I don't know, or don't know well, or someone hasn't been always friendly, chooses to help me. I think a wolf that I've had issues with in the past is going to jump into this fight with us.
Okay. All right.
Showing the viewers what you can do with your XP. You can spend some of your own XP to help out.
There's a lot you can do with XP.
Mm-hmm.
So you will let out this massive roar. The buck will shake as it turns its attention back to you. Its maw open, its tongue kind of splits in 2, letting you get a clear vision of its eye staring at you from its inside of its gullet. And then you will just see very slowly almost like popcorn. Its inside just balloon out as each bone individually pops, and then just he collapses. Just comes down. And then a wolf lets out a howl from the tree line, rushes forward, and latches on to the last knot deer's neck. If you want to make an attack roll for the wolf.
Sure, let's see. Yeah, I like these dice. 16 that time.
Yeah, it's so close to a critical. Teases you, but it does do damage to the knot deer that's left. And it lets out a howl of pain, almost like a mimic of the wolf howl that precluded the wolf joining the fight. It is twisted. It is lower in register. It kind of rumbles through the earth as he lets it out. But that brings us to Granny's turn.
Well, it seems like the gentleman and the assistance that has been called in has this handled. Yep. I am going to grab my mad stone and touch it to this poor Gunther that's laying on the damn ground looking half dead.
Okay. If you want to roll the dice for the lumberjack, take a shot.
Sure. That's a 10.
Ooh, that's a hit. And this lumberjack, as 3 of his friends are rushing over, they've got their axes in hand, and you hear another thunder crack, and then the head of this knot deer suddenly spins around, almost like cartoonish from the whiplash that it gets from the shot hitting it straight on the muzzle side. There's a cracking sound that only Joe can really hear, and as it drops and looks up at you, you will hear that familiar female voice again. Hey, I'm coming.
Since I'm in bear form, I guess Bear Man says, "Hay's for horses, I eat meat."
And all 3 of the deer will desiccate. Their innards will leak out like a black ooze, and almost look like this swarm of leeches rushing back into the tree line.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to spend an experience point for a narrative intrusion.
I'll do it. Go nuts.
So they start to desiccate, and then the shadows begin to latch onto them, and it's like the leeches are caught in barbed wire, and then it begins to compress, and then it just vanishes, as if the shadows themselves have consumed what's left of the leeches.
Okay.
Good use of an XP.
That was worth an XP. That was worth an XP for me. I like that. I'm okay.
Yeah. As Granny touches the mad stone to Gunther, his wits come back. He starts to kind of blink, and he looks up at you. Is Prudence? Spawn?
Yes, dear.
Al, where did you come from?
You came to see me, don't you remember?
No, last I remember, I was set for supper at my house. Where's my mama?
She's at your house. There's something strange at your house, honey.
No, not that I know of. Not unless you count Noah. And he locks eyes with you, and you see that there is a primordial terror in them.
How about Granny Palmer come and take a look at Noah? Because you just fell out on my front lawn, shaking like a twig in the breeze. Sweat pouring, your skin is clammy. And these 3 creatures that looked like deer, but was not deer, came out of my woods.
Oh, it's just like the ones at the fort.
Yeah. You've been touched by some bad things, hun. I want to take a look at Noah.
I told Elias we shouldn't have gone to the fort.
Oh, I'll take a look at that fort, too. But first, we're going to go make sure you're safe at home.
All right. And
How about you decide you're just going to rest here for the evening? All right?
Yeah,
You'll go home in the morning, and I'll join
better.
you.
And he just collapses.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fellas, I need some help.
Old Joe's going to walk in bear form back into the tree line.
Yeah.
Get behind a tree. Shift back to human form. I'm going to look at the wolf and just nod because I know I owe that wolf now, and I'm going to have to pay that
wolf
back.
looks at you as you're walking with it back into the tree line, and there is this body language of, this doesn't square us.
Nope, I owe him. I know that. But I'm going to shift back. When I shift back to human form, I'm just going to nod at the wolf. I know my obligation.
And when Joe comes back,
As a person, I got to put on the appearance of being people.
Rand is standing in the spot where the deer were. And as, Granny Palmer's tending to him on the ground, Joe just sees him staring at the spot for a second, and then he looks up. And for just a second, there are no pupils or irises in Rand's eyes. They're just black.
I'll make a deal with you,
black orbs with lids. And then he blinks and they're gone. It's just the normal face. And you all right, Joe? And you notice he's not surprised that Joe shapeshifted at all.
I'll make a deal with you, Mr. Barrow. You don't talk about what you saw. I won't talk about what I saw. And all the people in this town around us, they'll be a lot happier.
I was going to save this for my readers. Imagine they think it was fiction anyway.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm sure we'll both be happy with certain things not being blabbed.
You okay?
Oh, yeah. Not the first time I've tussled with things out here.
And you hear Granny calling for help.
He
Let's go see what
sheaths the gun and
wants.
yeah, we both dutifully race over to Grandma Pruden's.
Well, old Joe don't really run. He just kind of, much like the bear, I lumber.
He lumbers, he kind of moseys over.
He trudges. Joe's a trudger.
It's clear I'm kind of comfortable as a bear.
I imagine I'm a slinker, so I kind of slink my way over.
Yeah, old Joe seems comfortable as a bear. Now that you've seen him as a bear, his movements are kind of lumbering like a bear.
Okay. And as the lumberjacks and Rand and Joe kind of help you get Gunther situated inside.
She's gonna have him. She's gonna have them put him in Clara's bed. Clara will stay with her tonight.
Yeah, Clara automatically kind of already starts moving her things. So as you guys are about to head back to the Drummond estate, I think so that we can involve Brad when he comes back, let's cut it here.
But first, I want to thank the Guardians that came. Because I have to show appreciation for their help.
Understood.
And she goes out and she thanks the horses and the lumberjacks because they all responded, even if the horses didn't show up in time to fight. And she thanks them sincerely and offers whatever offerings they need.
Perfect.
And Joe acts like he didn't do anything in the fight. I'm just going to.
Yep.
And then she comes in and makes sure everybody's, fed, rested, ready to move out.
Yes, always reload after the fight. Very important.
Always reload. But yeah, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight.
I do too.
Good job, everybody.
Yay.
Survived combat.
We got creative.
Yeah.
That was fun. And we finally revealed all of our mutant powers.
Yeah.
No, I haven't shown all mine yet, but I've given some hints as to them. I still got some other speaker powers.
Next week we'll have a better set.
It's funny. I got more speaker powers, but I'll be fair. I may be a speaker, but there's edge in a lot of my powers, at least at this level. So, just let everybody know in chat. The bot's not working tonight. There's a problem with the API. It's not calling back to Twitch like it's supposed to.
Dumb bot.
Yep. So it's just not working tonight. So it's going to make our outro even faster. But I do want to thank Ravenous Archon, Rev Ben Powers down there, and of course my lovely wife for this game. You know? Yeah, I had one job for the bot, but it's kind of messed up right now. So I'll figure it out later. I think the API's broke. It won't let me off the account like it's supposed to. Yeah. So join us on our Discord so you know we don't have it in chat. Look down in our Twitch panels.
I am putting it in chat right now.
Okay. There you go. There you go. There's the link to our Discord. The cast of this show comes from the Discord. And while it's too late to apply to Ravenous Archon's Old Gods game, let me tell you, in the future, I'll be running one too. So you'll get to see a shaky version, which will be different from the Ravenous Archon version, but both are perfectly valid because this is the Appalachia. And in these mountains, all kinds of strange shit happens. That's the beauty of it all. If you want to catch some back episodes, YouTube, call me Isabel. Yes, it is a fun system. It's a very flexible system.
I love it.
It is one where the
creative. It's a great creative role play.
The storyteller has to be the game master has to be very flexible because there's so many ways that if you run a rigid story can be short circuited by some weird shit people pull out. I haven't even used my chalk yet.
I assure you, Ravenous Archon is very flexible.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
That's dirty.
I limber up before every session.
I haven't even broke out my chalk yet.
Yeah.
Y'all can think about what my chalk's
chewing
for.
through the damn ciphers for real.
The chalk one for me, I need to save. That's my real important get out of.
I still have my packet baby I haven't used yet.
I've literally used like 3 this session.
Want to catch an amazing content creator? We don't have it here. I will let Ravenous Archon. He can post his own channel in Twitch chat. He can put it in there, his channel URL. He has his own channel, and we'll let him talk about what he's got going on because what he's got going on involves multiple people around here. So, you know, you want to support the players, bits and donations, they go to the players. We can't put up a donation link, but if you go to the panels here in Twitch, there's a donation spot that if you click the picture that says donations, it sends you to the donation spot. It's beautiful.
And it even has a link to our KoFi, our coffee page.
So you can go and check those out. Yeah, now I'll turn it over to my wife and let her do a schedule.
All right. So coming up over the next week, we have nothing tomorrow because our Kansas City Domain Divided V5 Chronicle, modern day Kansas City Chronicle, doesn't start until next week on the 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
We have no stream tomorrow. Happy early anniversary to my lovely wife.
Thank you, honey. Happy anniversary to you, too.
We got married on a Friday the 13th in October, and guess what? It's Friday the 13th in October for us again.
I'm so excited.
But we have a brand, Ben.
Yes, we are Gomez and Morticia. But
I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you very much for having that be a thing.
And we live it.
We live it. I mean, literally, we've been together, married for 19 years, been together for 21. We actually became a couple on October 13th, and 2 years later, on the same day, we got married, and it just happened to be a Friday.
That's been a good day for us.
Yeah, it is. All right. So Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, join Tiss and her crew of investigators in London Esoteric Society, a Call of Cthulhu 7e game set around the turn of 1900 in London or various regional locales around Europe, depending on where they are exploring interesting and sus things that they should probably be destroying instead. But instead they go insane and start murdering themselves. So, you know, it's a thing. But join them on Saturday for that. Sunday, starting at noon, there will be a Windy City Marathon picking up with the midpoint of season 4. A lot of shit happens that episode. You don't want to miss it.
The one where we pick up season 4, episode 5 was originally named Sweet Sorrow.
Yeah.
That should tell you what's coming that episode. Yep.
So that starts at noon on Sunday and runs until roughly about 9 p.m.
I think it's 8-ish.
Yeah, around 8-ish roughly is how long we run it, about 8 hours roughly.
We wanted to run it up to 10, but most of the time, because of the way the episodes are,
It runs up to about 8.
It ends just after 8. I'm not starting a new episode because it would run until close to 11. And we're not doing that.
Yeah. So turn it on Sunday, have it running in the background. It's on pretty much all afternoon into the evening, and just enjoy your Sunday and occasionally check out what we're doing in Vampire in our Windy City Chronicle that we finished. And we will be taking Monday and Tuesday. Of course, we don't have anything streaming right now, but Wednesday, myself, Ravnos Archon, and Shanky, of course, as the storyteller, will be back for Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages at 8 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss it. Things are just starting to heat up. Yeah, so you don't want to miss it. And then on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be right back here with more Old Gods of Appalachia.
Episode 3 of 4.
Episode 3 of 4. And Mr. Barra just saw that Granny Palmer wasn't kidding when she was talking about her stuff.
I mean, to be fair, Mr. Barrow has done absolutely nothing weird at all.
Right. He just shot a gun.
He has fired a weapon and is totally a normal person.
Yeah. Didn't summon shadows to wrap up them dear nothing.
Nope. Happy coincidence.
Yeah. Happy coincidence. Them shadows just do exactly what you want.
And old Joe meant it. He keep you secret, you keep his.
Lips are sealed.
Yeah, we don't need the people in the town.
Y'all just lucky that Prudence was just a little bit distracted by the poor boy dying on her front lawn.
It was obvious when you saw a man jump out of the tree and land as a bear.
Yeah, no.
But I have to keep up pretenses. Yeah. I have to go back into the
I mean,
she already knows because Rand told her.
To be fair, my pre joining the campaign plot hook was that I knew Joe was a shapeshifter, so it all kind of worked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the other cool thing about the system for those who haven't played before is that part of character creation
is you have to hook together.
Yep. So one of my
and you have
questions,
an active reason for being there.
Yeah, was I knew that Joe was a shapeshifter before the game even started, and so
he also knows something about Granny Prudence too. That some things have been following her.
Yeah, we all have our little reasons, and as we game, the more of those will come out. I am so excited for this. This is so much fun.
I can't wait for Granny
my group
to see what her hook on me is. Because she's going to be wrong.
Oh, yeah. Because she only has part of the information. She doesn't know all of it.
It's a good time. And Will is doing a fantastic job running this for us. And I'm so happy to be actually able to play. And this is great. And everybody who's been in chat participating, that's been a lot of fun too. Just bantering banter. Yeah, bantering banter. I love, by the way, jar juice. I know I mentioned that last time.
Okay, we need to do our outro.
I know. By the way, Ben, I didn't threaten you this whole episode.
I didn't threaten you either because we're new best friends.
Yeah, just pointing that out. That better not be the beloved whispering to me, talking to me in the woods. I'm just saying, I don't need that following me around. But I'm going to let Will tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on before we go to the final part here.
Well, hello everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying the story. I do tabletop RPGs on my own channel. I do Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition on Mondays. It's a 2-part story revolving around the Camarilla coterie and an Anarch coterie. I have Tuesdays alternating between Legend of the Five Rings, where you might see Ben again, and Werewolf the Wild West. And normally I have 7th Sea alternating on Thursdays right now. So I'm excited to tell this little story for Halloween and get some scariness out there for the season. So we'll see what happens with these last 2 episodes because everything's unraveling.
Ben, tell everybody what you got going on.
Well, I play in Will's L5R game every other Tuesday when illness and job permit. I DJ a lot in the Northeast. I have a big Halloween gig coming up in Manchester, New Hampshire, Club Jewel. Let's see. I'm going to be bopping over my buddy Couch Coward stream after this is over. And that's literally everything, guys. I'm boring, but I'm locally boring.
So, as always, everybody, when we end these streams, mental health. This is not a joke at this channel. It's not a laughing matter. We take mental health very seriously. So please, first of all, reach out to those around you. Reach out to your friends, your acquaintances. Hell, sometimes even reach out to people you're not really that close to. Make sure they're okay. Especially if you think they're okay, because some of the people who suffer the most, they have a mask. And all it takes is a lifeline, a friendly voice, somebody reaching out to them that'll help take them off a ledge that they might be on. And if you suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, please reach out to your own support network, whether that is professional help, whether it is friends, family, whether you have an employer using an EAP. But if you don't have any of that, in chat's a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours. Well, we don't have them there tonight. There you go. Thank you, Ravenous Archon.
I did put the link for Find a Helpline.
Yep. Ravenous Archon put the numbers for us off of his. I'll make sure the bot's working, or I'll have a different bot next stream. But if you're not in the U.S., findahelpline.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, findahelpline.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can put in the country that you're located in and get the help numbers and the support lines for your country. Because mental health is health. And there's nothing wrong with admitting you're not okay. So it's okay to not be okay. Some of the best people I know aren't okay. Just letting you know that. And I'll turn it over to my lovely wife for whatever she wants to add to the ending.
All right, y'all. So I'm McStabber. I'm a registered nurse. I'm going to tell you, please get your flu shot and get your COVID booster, because you need to get these every year, y'all, because neither of those viruses are going anywhere. So please take care of your health. Seriously, take care of your mental well-being, and do what you need to do to make sure you're going to be around for a long time so we can keep sharing stories with you. And please, 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 the fucking GOP just nominated basically Walmart version of David Duke.
Nope, he withdrew tonight.
Oh, did he withdraw tonight?
He withdrew his candidacy for speaker.
Yeah, because he couldn't get the votes. But the other option is going to be, Jim, I'm going to deny any sexual assault happened at my university, Jordan, instead.
Or two other guys declared tonight.
Yeah. So needless to say, the GOP is a fucking circus, and it's not a fun one. It's a madhouse.
I'd call it a clown show, but that's insulting to clowns.
That's insulting to clowns. Clowns actually do work. Yeah, I said what I said.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I said what I said. So anyway, make sure you're registered to vote. Vote accordingly. Vote. Please vote for people who support human rights. And want to make sure that we can actually somehow thrive. So please, and don't vote for people that like to hold people hostage by threatening shutdowns that impact millions of incomes, because it ain't just the federal workers that get affected. It ain't. It's everything around those federal offices that supports things too. So please. And Ohio, your early voting is open. Please vote in your current election. It is important to vote in local and state elections, because that's how you determine who ends up playing in the federal arena. So please do your diligence.
Vote yes on Proposition 1.
And 2. Mm-hmm.
One's body autonomy, and the second one is marijuana.
Yeah.
Vote yes on both.
Said with love. Y'all take care.
And as the Shanky for this channel, I want to say thank everyone for coming, and thank the players and the Game Master, of course. And I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody.